What was the founding story for Airvet? And what were the first steps that you took to start at the time?
So, as I mentioned, I grew up in the pet space. My dad's a veterinarian, and of course, he lives a block away from where we live in Beverlywood. And my sister lives a block the other way. So, whenever people ask, like, "What's it like being a block away from your parents?" I say it's like everybody loves Raymond, but it's not funny. So that is the easiest way to understand that. And so I grew up always having pets. I went to USC and had a pet. I got a French bulldog that we recently lost, but he made it to 14, which is a heck of a long life for a Frenchie. And my dad was my vet, of course. So anytime I had an issue, I never had to think about what something costs, right? At the vet, I never had to think about, do I have to go to an ER or can I wait 10 days for my appointment to go in with my vet? I just never had to think about access and cost. It was never a consideration. And I didn't actually realize how fortunate I was because it was so normal for me to just be able to drive a block and have my dad take a look at something or him come to me. And it was amazing, but I took it very much for granted because I didn't know the way the other 99.9% of pet parents live, where when your pet gets sick, like when your kid gets sick, it's really stressful and you do have to think about the costs and you don't know if you need to go in. So one day, and this is all in a terrifying but true story. My dad and mom were in safari in South Africa. They went on a safari. And Carlos comes into the house one day and just acting all weird, and he just starts just violently throwing up, like out of nowhere. And in his throw up were these like perfectly not chewed plants. And in the throw up, when I went to clean it, very like perfectly preserved, right? And he did not chew them at all, as Frenchies do with their food. And I took a picture of it and I put it into Google image recognition to see what is this plant. And it was a plant called asparagus fern, which I had in the backyard, apparently. Um, of course, my next Google was, is asparagus fern toxic for dogs? Yes, it is. So that clearly that's what was going on. I don't know how much he ate. I don't know if he threw it all up or if there was more in his system or if I needed to induce vomiting or go to the ER. So I called my dad. Um, Straight to voicemail. Text him, wait 5 minutes, no response. Call him again, text him 911, need help ASAP. Carlos ate something toxic, no response. And it was like in that moment, for the very first time, I knew he kind of felt exactly what it felt like to be the average pet owner because these were not concerns I ever had. My dad was always available. If he didn't answer his cell, I called his office, and the office went, "Oh yeah, Jeff's in surgery," and they would hold the speaker up to him, right? And then I had no access to him, and I didn't know any other vets, right? My dad has been my vet my entire life, and it was in that moment I really felt the stress and the fear that a pet parent has when their pets eat something toxic, or we don't know if their life's in danger or at risk at all. Do I go to an emergency? That's going to be $1,000+ just to walk in the door. And keep in mind, I've never paid a vet bill before, so it's like I didn't know what to expect because my dad's my vet. So um, that was the kind of impetus of I want every single pet parent to have the level of access to a veterinarian that I've had my entire life and was so spoiled with. I want them to be able to pick up the phone, tap a button, and in seconds, not days or hours, being able to talk to a veterinarian and give guidance and support. And that's what we built AirVet based off of. And we do one thing that's really unique, which is we're actually the only on-demand care platform, human or pet, in the world. So what I mean by on-demand is you tap a button in the AirVet app, it's 24/7, and you will be FaceTiming with a US-based licensed vet in 15 seconds. It could be 11 o'clock at night, 3 a.m. I did not want to build something that people had to book an appointment for 3 hours from now, because yes, 3 hours is a whole lot better than 10 days, right? But when your dog or cat or pet might have a life-threatening issue, talking to someone 3 hours from now is not helpful at all. So it needed to be instantaneous. And that's what we ended up building. So that was the kind of impetus for why we built AirVet and why we built it in the way that we did.